Alright guys, here is a video I've been excited to do, partly to show it off to you, and partly, actually mostly because, like, I've been waiting for this guy. I'm looking forward to the Thunder Manus colors, the classic red and blue prime, but this is a really cool mold to get to check out. And this is Cross Dimension Thunder EREBUS from Maketoys. And he comes in the box with all the accessories. You do get the instruction manuals, which does use it's like they did with Pandanus and Devil Stinger. It does have the actual, it uses the blue and red Thunder Manus version of the mold for the instructions, or the colors for the CG, so you can get kind of an idea of what he'll look like in the prime colors, although we have seen some pictures of that, I believe. But here he is in vehicle mode, and you'll notice just by the size of my hands, he is very wee in vehicle mode, especially his little cab here. He's about a Legends class figure here, and there's a little dark Jinrai. Oh, I popped his leg off. That's my fault because I didn't rotate them before, like I should have, before bringing them down like that, and then flip this back. And he's about Titan Master size. I posted some pictures on Twitter the other night, but he's got the same kind of Power Master articulation, and that his arms can kind of flip forward a little bit. They're on the pegs, and up a little bit. He does have some that they're clipped on, so there is some articulation there. At the arms, he's got ball joint hips and then little hinge knees. Getting him to stand is a little bit of a trick, but once you do it, he does stand. And he also can transform. Get those pegged back on properly. And then again, rotate the hips so you don't mess them up. And then this is going to tab onto the engine here. Or the legs will tab onto the arms. Like this to form the engine. And then flip this little panel forward, and then you've got the little engine that can go right in the front of Thunder EREBUS here, which we'll show off in a minute. You don't actually need to do this to unlock his transformation. It's just as an homage, he clips onto the front of the truck, and we'll show that off. And you see the truck, it rolls. It's got all these guns on. He's got the two big guns on the back and the two guns up here, which can rotate. You can have them sticking straight up like big smokestacks if you want. That's how I always used to use my old Power Master Prime. I used to always have those sticking straight up, but it's up to you. He's got all the wheels. They're all plastic wheels. And he can still rotate here where the trailer pegs onto him. Now I'm holding the trailer because while he does do this, you'll see him kind of shifting off to the side because the trailer attachment peg flips up for transformation, so he will kind of tend to shift this way if you turn him this way. It's probably possible to put some floor polish on that and tighten it up so it's not as wiggly, but that's why that's happening. We'll go ahead and take the trailer off and set him off to the side. Here is the mini EREBUS himself. Like I said, this little spring panel can spring in and spring back out here. So there he is, complete as a truck. And then, like I said, there's two little tabs here where you can tab this guy on into the front, and this little piece folds down and then folds back up to lock him in place like that. And you unlock that, pull him out, and there you go. He's a fairly simple transformation. You just want to bring his legs, go ahead and pop the wheels out to the side during transformation. It makes it a little easier. Bring his legs down, split them. Oh, I forgot, these should have been folded forward. They're in vehicle mode. Yeah, so fold those down, then bring the legs down like that. And then bring this down and rotate his toes to point straight out. He's kind of got heels here. Seems silly, but that's actually one of the ways he's going to clip together, so you want to make sure we have that spot there. Bring his legs down. This panel, this whole front panel comes loose and comes down like this, which will free up these panels up here on top to fold down, and then you can take the arms, and you need to move this panel down so these windows can fold around onto his back, and also to access his head, which we should probably pull up first. Here, I'll pull this helmet off. There we go, slide the whole head up. And much like He doesn't have a swappable face. I pulled his helmet off, which is the same issue I was talking about. Galaxy Meteor has the same issue, but this should pop all the way up here. There we go. Make sure it snaps all the way up like that. Then fold the arms closed like that. This piece rotates up and kind of down, and then you push that bumper in onto his back, bring his legs down, and you flip the wheels back up. That's mostly so he's got some side articulation in his legs and the wheels can stay in place. Flip his hands down here, and then rotate just the lower half of his forearm down so that panel comes around to the back and reveals his fists. And there is EREBUS in his small little Legends class form. Nice coloring, nice deco. It looks like a tiny Optimus Prime or Nemesis Prime, however you want to think of him. Here he is with a Legends class Cloud Raker. Just to give you an idea, he's roughly Legends class size. Here he is with Legends Shockwave. So he's tiny. He's superposable, but he is tiny. But he's still got a bicep swivel. It's a ball joint here at the shoulder, so you got some hinge out there. The shoulders hinge a little bit, not a lot, but enough to move. Head's on a ball joint. Kind of a wrist swivel here with this this little panel tab. Kind of has a waist swivel if you bring the wheels down. He's got a little bit more room to pull the back panel out. He does have some waist swivel there. Front to back movement, side to side movement on the legs. Thigh swivel up here. The hinge knees to over 90 degrees. Some front to back foot action, and then with the toe rotation, you kind of get ankle tilt, because rotating it also changes the angle of the foot, but you can mess with that a little bit. He does have weapons. He has there's the guns on the trailer. These large guns on the trailer come off, and then the back part comes off to form a couple of small rifles for the smaller robot. You just tab these little things into the slots in his hands. So you can use one or two and give him a couple of hand weapons as well, which is cool. We'll go ahead and reassemble these guns for the big guy. And it's just a matter of taking these and sliding them together just like that. So to get him ready, we'll go ahead, mostly turning him back into a truck. Except we're going to leave the feet. We're not going to rotate the feet around. We're just going to fold them up onto the foreleg here. Clip the legs back together. Pull this back out. Bring his arms back out. To the side here. Rotate this back around. Come on. Like that. Push his head back down. And bring this back up here. Rotate his arm panels. His arms fold up and rotate into this, in like this. And you want to make sure these rotate as well, so the arm panels come together. And then flip up back up onto the top of the truck. And tab on. There's a couple little tabs up here on the top of the shoulder that these should tab onto. There we go. That's how you know you got it all lined up right. Push this back up and tab the front back in. Why are you not lining up? You should tab together. See, this side tab together. I don't know why this side's being a pain in the patoot. There we go. And then at this point, like I said, with these, with his feet just flipped up and these little divots in his heels, you rotate this whole thing up, rotate it up at the knees, and then these little tabs here are going to tab in and also snap into this little, you see the curve there is going to match the curve of this little thing. So bring this up, tab that together, and you can go ahead at this point and attach the Power Master engine, flip that panel back down, and then fold his wheels in. And there you've got the cab. There's a little clip here. You can see this rounded piece right here on the lower waist plate. That's going to clip into the trailer armor. For the trailer armor, we'll go ahead and pull these guns off as well, and then start unpaneling it. So flip these panels on the side back and around. That's going to unlock a few things here. Split the back half here. Go ahead and fold this panel up. It kind of pulls out a little bit to allow that double hinge to fold up, and then collapses back down here. Before we do that, actually, we want to fold this panel out, and then this black panel in. And again, these are all double hinges. All right, this should go in like this. And this black tabs into here. Again, double hinge. You want to make sure all the hinge parts. There we go. Bring that all the way up, and then tab it in. So you want to make sure this is straight. So you got to kind of make sure this comes all the way up and over. Fold this down, fold it in, and lock it like that. And at which point now this double hinge comes out, folds around, and then collapses back while tabbing in. You can see there's two tabs here that are going to tab in onto the back. There we go, just like that. Push that all down and angles this little grill piece down. Flip that connector piece for the trailer out. Bring his arms down. Take these little missile pieces and slide them forward onto the forearms. And bring the arms down and around. And you want to actually, you can see the slot here for them. They slide down on this post and then plug in there. So you just snap right into place. And then snap right into place. Bring the arms down. Open these up. No. Oh yeah, you just got to open that one side up. And then rotate his fist around. Close that up. Same over here. And then pull the head and kind of shoulder light assembly. Flip that up like that. Rotate him around to the waist. I'm going to untab the legs a little bit. And once those are untabbed, you can slide these panels up, lift the trailer piece of the rear door up, and then not just the panel we flip back, the whole assembly, even including the panel it flipped back onto, all comes out. At which point you fold this down, and then fold the black panel. Black panel should fold the black panel up into there, and then close this back down over it. There's a little tab there that tabs into place. Worry about that later. So yeah, close that door, flip that around. Why are you not? I don't have the light to see. Get that all. There we go. Once you get it all lined up, it all kind of collapses together nicely. It's just a matter of making sure. There we go. Like that. Go ahead and untab the wheels here from this grape silver panel and bring these pieces out like that, at which point this folds up and forms kind of a butt flap, but it really isn't as obtrusive as you think. It looks like it's part of this backpack up here, but it's a separate little piece down here. So flip that up, split the legs apart. The feet, take the toe and flip it up like that onto the foot, and then bring this whole assembly down. Again, take the toe, cover up that tech detailing there. Bring this up. Bring this down. This whole assembly comes up. This wheel piece rotates and clips down like that. All this comes up to the back, and this piece is going to come up here, assemble onto the front part of the foot here. You can actually, if you want for this mode, leave it down flat like that. And same on this side. So fold this back and around, and click that into place. Flip this around, bring it up, and then just kind of bring these up here. Position the legs however you want them. Make sure that wheel piece does not get in the way of the panel. It shouldn't. And then you've got the armor body ready to go. Go ahead and attach these guns to his shoulders. These guns have the same rail system that all the other cross-dimension guns do, so you can just slide those into his hand, open his hand up a little bit, slide that in. Come on, there we go. And then you take, there's a clip right here. I don't know how well this light's been shining in my eyes this whole time. I've got bright spots. There's a clip right here in this piece that's going to clip onto this. And you have to kind of, you can't go straight in or straight down. You kind of want to come in like this at an angle, clip that down into place, at which point these little cutouts are going to go over the smokestacks, and there's a couple little tabs here on either side of the cab. Bring that down and snap it into place. Make sure that comes all the way forward. And tabs on, and there is Thunder Erebus all combined. And since you're essentially just sticking a square block into the chest, he really doesn't suffer from lack of articulation due to combining. He's still got a ball joint head up here on the new head. He's got swivels at the shoulders, both forward and back and out. Bicep swivels. Dual hinged elbows. So you get, again, the gun's kind of in the way there, but you get a pretty decent range of motion out of the elbows here. The fingers are all one piece. They open up. Actually, no, the index finger is separate, but and then the all one solid piece for the last three. The thumb's in place. Fold. Make sure that stays folded down. He does have an ab crunch, like a pretty decent ab crunch there. You can see the hinge back here. Waist swivel. Again, it starts to, the backpack gets a little caught. You have to ab crunch him just a little bit to get him to move all the way. These panels also come up and down here on the waist. For leg poses, soft ratchet. They're not clicking, but you're not hearing the click, but they do have ratchets out to the side, as well as you can hear the ratchets front and back. These waist pieces move. Thigh swivel. Decently hinged knees that are mostly just blocked by the kibble and bits. Ankle tilt. And some good toe articulation here. The hinge here. You can move this around however you want and get that out of the way when doing the feet. So a pretty decently posable dude. And he looks great. Like I'm really looking forward to the Thunder Manus version of this as well in the classic red and blue. But the deco on this guy is great. I like the shiny red, the black, the silver, the kind of bluish highlights. And they are bluish. Like since we're at the comparison size of this, I'm going to start off with probably the most obvious comparison with Maketoys Striker Noir. They look amazing together, although you will notice that like he's got more of a greenish teal, and this is a more of a metallic blue on him. It still has a little bit of a tealish tint to it, but it's much more blue than Striker. But they look great together. They really do. Those two are going to make an impressive display. Like just the photogenicness, I guess, of these guys is really cool. So there he is with Striker Noir. And for those people who say I don't prepare enough, get ready, because here we go. Here he is with standard Striker Manus. So you can kind of picture that guy in those colors with the evil leader Rioter Despotron. Have him look at the camera. Alright. So there's him with the rest of the cross-dimension stuff. Like I said, I'm looking forward to Thunder Manus and anything else they put out in this line. This is a really fun line. I like the designs. I like the playability. The transformations are interesting. Thunder Erebus is no exception to that. He's a nice, solid, chunky figure. Lots of playability and a fun transformation. So, while I don't have black repaints of all the various Power Master Primes, For starters, here's a quick comparison with Iron Factory's Power Master God Bomber Jinrai figure. Because he is, you see him next to Striker Manus and Thunder Manus, and you think, or in Striker Manus and Despotron and all them, I think he's a little small. Here he is with, what do we want to go do next? Yeah, here we go. Here he is with the classic Prime mold. Fire Guts. God, I hope they do a Fire Guts version of this. I didn't even think about that. I was so thinking about Thunder Manus. I want a Fire Guts version of that so bad. Let's see, how is it too? Here he is with Takara Jinrai. And you can see he's not much, he certainly has more heft. He's not as hollow plastic. But he's not much smaller than the current Takara toy, or slash Titan's Return. Here he is with old G1 original Jinrai slash Power Master Prime. And again, about the same amount of heft. Jinrai is heavier, I will say that, but again, not much smaller. He only seems kind of smallish by comparison to Striker and Despotron, but he's just about the right size. He's super posable. He's got some really cool detailing, and he's not super huge, which is nice. I know some people like super huge things, and I get it. If you want a bigger figure, I totally understand that complaint, if that is one of your complaints. But this is just about the perfect size for me with the opposability and everything, and he's a very playable figure. Here he is with Evasion Prime with the, I think it's DX9 armor for him. And, oh, there he is. And here he is with Classics Prime with the Fans Project armor kit for him. Still not sure when that's coming out. If ever. But, so yeah, he's a really fun figure. Good posability, good detail, just really striking on the shelf. Like I don't even know if the video is capturing just how awesome he looks. Nice shiny blue paint, the shiny red behind the silver behind the translucent red that just makes it all pop. Just a really nice version. Can't wait for Thunder Manus. He did also come with his little card. And on the back is a new AR token that doesn't seem to be working yet. I don't know if it's just the app hasn't updated with it. But the next token is Thunder Manus. Although if you look at that and compare, that is very clearly Thunder Manus with God Bomber armor. The chest is different. You can see the shoulder cannon coming up here. So, yeah, let's look forward to that. I think we've seen somebody found and showed off some pictures of the AR version of the Thunder Manus with God Bomber, so it looks like that may actually be coming. And you can see there's some ports back here on the back of his thighs. Although again, Striker Manus had some of these too, but they're like, you know, like this heel flips out, and there's some stuff that like absolutely lends itself to, like there's some clips back here, some ports here on the side of this, which again you could plug those into, but why unless you were doing. So yeah, there's a port here on the front of the crotch. There's some tabs, like there's little slots here in these side chest things. So I feel like that's probably a safe bet. That's something that at least at one time was being worked on. I wouldn't be surprised if we eventually got it down the line. But there are plenty of places on this guy to plug some more stuff in. But even by himself, he's great. Can't wait for the red and blue. Really enjoying the black and blue and red Thunder EREBUS.